Hey guys, welcome to Misha Designs Refashion. So this is another one of the $10 sneakers that I purchased. I taped off the soling on each and I spray painted them black. The original color was this kind of light blue, but it was pretty dirty, stained up and all that. So I am actually going to create a high top BT21 character sneaks for my BTS loving daughter, or should I say she is part of that BTS army, and it totally slipped my mind to purchase one, but unfortunately it's too late for me to go online and purchase one for her to have it in time for Christmas. So I am going to refashion this $10 sneaks into a really cute BTS sneaks. So with the sneaker prepped and ready, the next thing I did was printed out each of the BT21 characters. They are so adorable, I must admit, and I printed 2 of each of the characters because I wanted to make sure that I had one for each sneaker. I also printed out some additional detailing to add to the sneak. This chart here, really, I wouldn't be using it on the sneaker, but I wanted to make sure that I had each of the characters' names properly spelled and next to the correct character, because the last thing I want is any of these BTS army people to come after me, and the first one that's gonna come after me is my daughter. So to avoid that bacchanal, I need to do this right. I would also be applying these with Podge. Okay, so here are my pieces all cut out. My next step would be to see how I'm placing them onto the sneaks and then put them in place with the Podge. Alright, so it's time to take my little cutouts and place them onto my sneaks. I'm going to be using the Podge. This is the matte Podge and my paintbrush to apply the pieces onto the sneaks and then sealing them in place when I'm finished with everything else. I'm also going to be using my little paint markers to add whatever little designs and names that I want to put onto the sneaks as well. So I'll just put that aside because I'm not ready for it. Now it's just for me to figure out how I'm going to place these characters onto the sneakers. Now when I remove the tape, I remain with the big Converse sign. I don't know how I feel about that right now, so I'll see at the end if I want to cover it with something or leave it as is. Now for the deciding, what I do know is that I'm going to take the BTS symbol and I want to put that on the back of the sneaks right here, right? I'm going to place that on the back of the sneaks right there, and I'll be placing the army right along the back there as well. So I'm going to get started with all of that. All I'm doing right now is taking my white paint marker and making these nice little rings, which was done by accident actually. but I liked how it turned out, so I'm just doing it throughout by the shoelaces. Decorating. I'm not gonna do, as I said, I'm not gonna do too much because I don't want to overkill. I am going to seal everything in, so I have to go in with my Mod Podge and my paintbrush. Fortunately, I have a very small paintbrush today, and I am going to seal it in. This is where I have to be very, very generous with the amount of Mod Podge that I'm using. Okay, I can't go in sparingly. I have to go very generous with it. And yes, it's gonna start off looking white like this, but it's gonna dry clay, and that is what I want, a nice clay dry for this. So I'm gonna get started. Well, I'm already started. So I'm just gonna do this and come back and show you guys the end results of the Mod Podge. Okay, so I just finished plastering the sneaker with some Mod Podge. I really went in with this Mod Podge because I want to make sure these cuties are sealed in nice and proper, right? But again, do not worry because it dries very clear. This piece is drying already, and this is how the rest of the sneaker is gonna look once the Mod Podge dries. So do not worry if it is looking all white and ugly looking. It's gonna dry nicely. So I'm just gonna put this one aside, let this dry, and I may actually go in with another coating over this when it's finished drying. So I'm gonna work on my other sneaker in the meanwhile, and yeah,